Cyber Chase, the series now celebrating its 20th anniversary. I sat down with acclaimed actor Christopher Lloyd to talk about the show and his impactful career.
Christopher Lloyd's last words have revealed the truth about Back to the Future.
I'm Christopher Lloyd here, talking with GQ about some of my iconic characters.
The legendary actor, known for his unforgettable role as Doc Brown, has kept many secrets about the famous movie until now. At 86, he has finally revealed what really happened behind the scenes.
According to my calculations, this is the year 2015, Marty. The future.
From last-minute casting changes to shocking production struggles, there is more to the story. What almost stopped the movie from being made? Why did he hesitate to take the role that changed his life forever? Join us as we revealed the shocking truth about Back to the Future. A shocking revelation. Christopher Lloyd has kept many things private over the years, and his fans have watched him play all kinds of characters, from a strict but funny taxi driver to a wild scientist who invented a time machine. But at 86, he is finally opening up about what really happened behind the scenes in one of the best movies he acted in.
What in the name of Sir Isaac H. Newton happened here?
Oh, yeah, Doc, listen, my kids showed up. All hell broke loose.
This movie series is loved all over the world. It made people believe that time travel could be possible. It has one of the most unforgettable characters in the movie industry. This character is known as Doc Brown.
Because I used it on Jennifer, there wasn't enough power left to knock your son out for a full hour. Damn!
Doc, look at this.
A doctor with messy white hair, crazy ideas, and wild expressions, making millions of people laugh and wonder about the future.
I'm adjusting fit.
Pull out your pants pockets. All kids in the future wear their pants.
But not everyone knows what it was like for Christopher to bring this character to life. When this movie came out, it changed movies forever. It was filled with adventure, fun, and big ideas. The movie was so exciting that it became a huge success, and people could not get enough of it. Today, people are still talking about this movie, dressing up as Doc Brown for Halloween and dreaming about what the future might look like.
Next Saturday night, we're sending you back to the future.
What people do not know about this movie is that it was not meant to happen in the first place. There were a lot of things that happened that no one knew about. Some things went wrong, and big decisions had to be made at the last minute. Even Christopher himself had doubts about making some decisions. Now, after so many years, he has revealed everything about this unforgettable movie. Before he became one of the most famous actors in Hollywood, he was just a boy with big dreams. But what was his life like before he became an actor? A shy boy with big dreams. Christopher Lloyd was born on October 22, 1983, in a quiet town called Stamford. His family was popular in the area. His mother was a singer and his father was a lawyer. They had a big house and lived a comfortable life. Even though he had everything he needed, he was not interested in the usual things other children had in mind. While many children dreamt of becoming doctors or police officers, he loved stories, movies, and the world of acting. He was a quiet child who did not like to talk much because he was shy around people. But when he watched plays and movies, he was always acting different.
And who's this beloved Clara? I don't know anyone named Clara.
I don't know, Doc.
His love for acting grew stronger when he was just 14 years old. That same year, he got a chance to work in a small theater. It was called Summer Stock, which is known to be a theater where actors perform different posts in the summer months. At first, he was not given big roles, and he served as a helper who set up the stage and ran errands for the actors. He loved being in that world and did not care about what he was asked to do. He loved to watch the actors perform and learned how everything worked behind the scenes. One day, something unexpected happened. One of the actors could not perform, and the director needed someone to fill in. Christopher, who was just a teenager with no experience, was asked to step in. He was nervous, but the moment he stood on the stage, everything changed. The fear disappeared, and for the first time, he felt different. He realized that acting was what he wanted to do for the rest of his life.
the life that was going on around me. It just all fit into place.
Acting was not an easy job, and only a few people became popular. He did not care about being famous, and the only thing that he was thinking of was acting. When he turned 19, he made a big decision. He packed his bags and moved to New York City. He did not have enough money, and life in New York is always tough. He stayed in cheap apartments, ate simple meals, and spent most of his time looking for acting work. Later, he joined acting classes at the neighborhood playhouse school of the theater, where he trained under a famous teacher known as Sanford Meisner. This teacher is known for his tough teaching style, who always pushes his students to become better by making them repeat lines again and again until they feel the emotions behind them. When Christopher started, he struggled at first because he was not like other students who were loud and confident. He was still the shy boy from Stamford who was not sure if he was good enough. He improved little by little, but his teacher saw something special about him that seemed different from other students. But for years he worked in small plays, performing in tiny theaters where few people came to watch. He did not care about the number of people who came to watch. He just wanted to act, but he knew that if he wanted to make a living as an actor, he needed to find bigger opportunities. His patience paid off when he got his first Broadway role in Red, White, and Maddox in 1969. It was a small part, but it was a step in the right direction. More theater roles followed, and he started to make a name for himself. But as he kept on working, fate had other plans for him. He went from performing in small theaters to becoming one of the most unforgettable actors in movie history. How did this happen? A man of many characters. After years of hard work on stage, Christopher's name started to gain attention. He focused on playing characters that were different, strange, and even scary. This made him stand out. His first big break came in 1975, when he was cast in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a movie about a mental hospital. He played a patient named Max Tabor, a man trapped in a strict system. The movie starred Jack Nicholson.
I'd like to know why none of the guys never told me that you, Miss Ratchet,
and became one of the greatest movies of all time. He was not the main actor, but his performance was outstanding. His eyes, sharp movements, and ability to create emotions without saying much impressed the audience. This role helped other big directors take notice of him. After that, more roles started coming his way. But instead of choosing easy roles, he picked characters that were funny and mysterious. He played villains, scientists, and roles that many actors were afraid to take.
Marty, you made it!
Yeah.
Welcome to my latest experiment. This is a big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
One of his most famous roles came when he played Uncle Fester in The Addams Family. This was a huge challenge because the character had already been played in a TV series years before. Many people had a certain image of what Uncle Fester should be like.
You remember what we were like? I hated you. I despised you. I choked him till he lost consciousness.
And changing that could make the audience dislike the movie. But Christopher made the role his own by shaving his head, giving this character a different but lovable personality, and making him one of the most memorable characters in the movies. He performed in over 200 theater productions throughout his career, always coming back to the place where he started. Some actors forget about theater once they become famous.
Because I want to find something in the character that everybody in the audience can identify with.
But he did not. He loved the feeling of performing in front of people where every movement and act feels real. Though he was not the main actor in most movies, his performances were so strong that people always remembered him. He had a way of making every scene feel exciting, whether he was playing a serious role or a funny one. His ability to switch between different types of characters made him one of the most respected actors in Hollywood. Even though he had already built a strong career, one role turned him into a Hollywood legend.
I sat down with acclaimed actor Christopher Lloyd to talk about the show and his impactful career.
They're not yours, Tully.
Now, back to the future.
What did I tell you?
What was this role he played that changed his life forever? A life-changing role. Though Christopher has already proved himself as a skilled actor, he had played serious roles, funny roles, and all types of roles. But in 1985, he took on a role that changed his life forever. It was a role of a wild-haired scientist with a weird personality known as Doc Brown in Back to the Future.
Today, in part 3 of my conversation with Christopher Lloyd, we really get rolling. Today, we'll be talking about cartoons, and of course, finally, the part he is best known for, Doc Brown in Back to the Future.
At first, he did not want the role. When he was offered the part, he almost turned it down. He was not sure if it was the right choice for him, but after reading the script again and being convinced by his wife at the time, he decided to give it a try. It turned out to be one of the best decisions of his career. Doc Brown was different from every other character he had played before. He was a genius, but also weird. He talked fast, made wild hand gestures, and always had a look of excitement on his face. His hair was wild, and his eyes were always wide, and he moved like he was full of energy even though he was much older than the main character, Marty McFly. Christopher knew that this role had to be special. He did not want his character to be just another scientist. He had a different idea. In order to create the character, he took inspiration from real scientists and famous people like Albert Einstein. He speaks loudly and quickly, as if his brain was always working faster than his mouth.
For iconic film, TV, and stage actor Christopher Lloyd, his 6-decade career.
The chemistry between Christopher and Michael Fox, who played Marty McFly, was perfect. The two actors worked so well together that their friendship in the movie felt real. Marty was a regular teenager, while Doc Brown was older. The two characters made some scenes one of the most memorable in movie history. When Back to the Future was released, it became an instant hit. Audiences loved the idea of time travel, the DeLorean car that acted as a time machine.
If you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
But one of the biggest reasons for the success of the movie was Christopher's performance. People could not get enough of him as a scientist. Some of his phrases became famous, and people started to copy his wild expressions. The success of Back to the Future led to 2 more movies. Each film added more excitement, more adventure, and more of his wild personality. Over time, the movie became legendary. Until now, people still love watching it. His role as the scientist became so famous that he continued to play the character in commercials, animated series, and even special events. No matter how many roles he played, people always saw him as the one and only Doc Brown. But this movie did not just change his career. It changed the entire movie industry and beyond. How did this movie influence the entire world of entertainment? A movie with great impact. When Back to the Future hit theaters in 1985, it became very popular. People could not stop talking about time travel.
That was the day I invented time travel.
The DeLorean and the wild scientist. The success of the first movie led to 2 more films, creating one of the most famous trilogies in movie history. But the influence of this movie did not end when the last movie was released. Years later, the series still plays a big role in entertainment, inspiring musicals and video games. One of the surprising ways the trilogy changed the world was through a stage musical. In 2020, the movie was acted in the United Kingdom. It was a huge project that brought the movie's famous scenes to life in a different way.
Next Saturday night, we're sending you back to the future.
The story was the same, but it was all done on stage with singing and dancing. People loved it because people felt like it was the original movie, but with a little touch. The influence of this movie did not stop there. Several video games based on the movie were released. Some of these games were simple, while others tried to expand the story with new adventures. One of the most popular games of the movie was released in 2010. The game had voice acting from Christopher himself, and the story was written in a way that made people feel like they were getting a secret 4th movie. Aside from the musicals and games, the influence of the movie was seen in other movies and TV shows. Before the trilogy, time travel movies were not usually big hits. But after Back to the Future, time travel became a favorite idea in Hollywood. Movies like Looper and Avengers used time travel in different ways, proving how much this movie has changed the way people think about moving through time. This movie had a major impact on storytelling. Many TV shows and films refer to the movie through jokes or similar characters. Shows like The Simpsons and Rick and Morty have included some parts of the movie. Even though it has been decades since the last movie was released, it still remains an important part of the entertainment industry. This movie also helped keep the DeLorean car alive. Before this movie, the DeLorean was just a normal car, but after the movie, it became a means of time travel. People started to dream of owning a DeLorean with the thought of traveling through time. Even as the movies stayed popular, Christopher's career did not slow down. The success of Back to the Future opened many doors for him in Hollywood. But what kind of opportunities came his way after this movie? New doors were opened. After Back to the Future, Christopher became a legend. His role as Doc Brown was so unique that Hollywood could not ignore him anymore. People loved how he could bring a character to life with just his voice, face, and body language. He made characters unforgettable, and this made movie studios and TV producers want him in their projects. One of the first big movies he starred in after Back to the Future was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. In this movie, he played the terrifying Judge Doom. The way he played this role, switching between calm and scary in an instant, proved he was really good at acting. His acting skills made him perfect for all kinds of roles.
It itches.
Don't touch it, not until the scab falls off.
Pumpkin, do you think these clothes?
One of his most famous roles was Uncle Fester in The Addams Family, as he transformed himself completely for the role. People loved him so much that many people still think of him as the best version of the character. He made guest appearances in popular shows like The West Wing and Frasier. Every time he appeared, he brought something new to the screen, keeping audiences happy to see what he would do after. Even though he had already made a name for himself in Hollywood, he never stopped working. He took roles in independent movies and short movies. As time went on, people started to call him Doc Brown everywhere he went. The movie industry respected him for his talent as well as his dedication to acting. He was not someone who chased fame, but he loved acting. And that love for acting kept his career strong for decades. But no matter how many roles he played, there was one thing that always stood out, and that is the way he could completely change into a character. His career gave him the chance to play some of his most memorable characters in the movie industry. But what was his personal life like? An endless search for love. While his life was filled with amazing moments in Hollywood, his love life was not the same. He got married many times, but each time, things did not work out the way he wanted. His first marriage was in 1959 to a woman named Catherine Boyd. They were young and happy about their future together, but as time went on, their relationship started to fall apart. Being married was not easy, and things became difficult for them to fix. After 12 years, they decided to go their separate ways and got divorced. A few years later, he found love again with actress Kay Tornborg. They got married, and for a while, everything looked perfect. But just like his first marriage, problems started to appear. Being in the entertainment industry has been tough on relationships. Actors have busy schedules, long working actors, and often travel away from home. These things make it hard to keep marriage strong. Unfortunately, they faced those problems, and they decided to end their marriage after 13 years together. Even though he has been through 2 divorces, he did not give up on love. In 1988, he married Carol Ann Vanek. This time, they did not last long, unlike his previous relationships that have lasted for a long time. After 3 years, they divorced, but Christopher still believed that he could find happiness in someone new. He married once again, this time to screenwriter Jane Walker, in 1992. They had many things in common, especially their love for movies and storytelling. For a while, it looked like this might be the relationship that would last, but they got divorced. After 4 failed marriages, many people might have given up on love, but he did not. In 2016, he got married for the 5th time to Lisa Loyacono. She was a real estate agent who helped him sell a house, and during that process, they grew close. Over time, their relationship turned into something deeper, and they decided to get married. This time, things were different. Christopher was getting older, wiser, and had learned from his last relationships. He and Lisa looked happy together, and despite everything he had been through, he finally found someone who brought stability into his life. Though his personal life had its challenges, his passion for acting never faded. But did he face some challenges in his career, falling and rising again? While Christopher had spent decades working as an actor, making people laugh, cry, and cheer with his performances, things took a terrible turn in 2019 when he found himself in serious financial issues. Many people think that being a famous actor means having a lot of money, but that is not always true. Even though he had been in many movies and TV shows, he did not know how to manage his money. In 2010, he had to file for bankruptcy. This was a shocking moment for many people. One of the biggest reasons for his financial issues was his real estate. He had bought many houses, and maintaining them cost a lot of money. Property taxes, repairs, and other expenses added up quickly. At the same time, acting roles were not going in as usual,
Just knowing that I'm going to be around to see 1985.
making it harder for him to keep up with the costs. Instead of feeling sorry for himself, he decided to work harder than before. He took on many acting jobs and was determined to get back on his feet. He never let his financial struggles take away his love for acting. Even though some roles were not as big as the ones he played in the past, he gave each performance his best effort.
I, Fester Adams.
Slowly, he earned money that helped him rebuild his financial stability. He appeared in different types of projects and did not turn down any opportunities that came his way. His struggles made him appreciate his career even more. He knew that fame and success could be temporary, but passion and hard work could help him survive. Even though he did not talk much about his efforts, his actions showed that he believed in giving back. One of the most important causes he supported was the Great Dixter Charitable Trust. This organization is based in England and works to protect nature, teach people about gardening, and keep history alive. Christopher understood that the environment needed care, and he wanted to be part of something that helped both people and nature. Aside from that, he also gave time and money to other causes, especially those related to education and arts. He believed that young people should have chances to learn and grow, just as he did when he first started acting. He did not help others to get attention, but he did it because he truly cared. He spent years entertaining people, but he wanted to do something meaningful outside of acting. Even though he became famous for playing characters, he showed that he was much more than just an actor. He was someone who believed in kindness, generosity, and using his success to help others. What's your favorite Christopher Lloyd role besides Doc Brown? Did his revelations change how you see Back to the Future? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.